Hey everybody, welcome one and all to another edition of Real Folk Talk, the podcast that asks the question, what are we all talking about and how do we make it better? And as always, this and other podcasts in the Jazzy Groove Rainy Day Podcast family are brought to you by the power of 5. At the very least, if you like what we're doing, you want to see more, support the video, put a like in there. It's free. And if enough of you do it, we'll be able to bring you bigger and better things and we'll all be better off for it. And also, this is now being brought to you by the Common Sense Network. We've changed our name from Groove TV to the Common Sense Network simply because we're going to branch out and do other things. And this name more reflects the direction that we're going in because we're going in the realm of common sense. And with that all being said, let's get it started. Today's episode is a follow-up to a previous podcast that we had that dealt with Passport Brothers. For those who were either living under a rock, haven't been in touch, or simply don't know, Passport Brothers are a growing faction of men who, because they're not finding the types of women that they want here in America, choose to go abroad to find more traditional women to date and marry. Now, a lot of people, especially American women, will say that they can't handle us and we don't want them. And good. We don't want you either. I mean, if they've gone their way, they're not bothering you, so why do you care? It's like, I'll never forget this. I was just dating my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend. And we were in Manhattan in New York City. And we're walking down the street. And we're talking this and another thing. And these two black girls are walking towards us. And they go by us. And my wife, who was listening to what they were saying, turned to me and said, "Oh, they're a bit upset." And I said, "What for?" And she said, "Because they're saying, why is she taking all our men?" Now, back then, I simply went, whatever, and kept going. Because I'm enjoying myself with my girlfriend, and nothing else anybody says is going to bother me. But looking back on that, I got to ask myself, are you trying to talk to me? No. Then why do you care? Why do you care? You're not trying to talk to me. You don't want me. She does. So why should anybody care? I got news for you. Nobody does care. Except you. And you're looking kind of stupid for it. Now, we're going to tap into a video. Once again, shout out to Myron and Walter and the Fresh and Fit crew for bringing us quality content. We're going to be reacting to this clip. And this clip is Salty Chicks Hated Learning Why Men Are Leaving the Country. So this has to do with the Passport Brothers movement. And without any further ado, let's listen.
Kick it off with a question. We can start here and work away. Do you know what a Passport Bro is?
I don't think I'm ready.
That's fine. If you don't know, that's totally cool.
Do you know what a Passport Bro is?
No?
Guess.
No, it's fine. If you don't know, that's totally cool. What about you?
No.
No? Okay. What would the
Portuguese?
Passport Bros. So.
You just say yes or no. Just yes or no.
Oh, you don't know what
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'll have you explain after, but do you know yes or no? Yes. Okay. So what about you? Do you know what it is? Yeah.
Passport bro?
Yes. Do you know what Passport Bros?
That's
Okay, you don't.
That's okay.
No,
It's okay.
it's
It's okay.
okay.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
So no worries. I'm just judging. Well, who knows and who doesn't? Do you know? No.
Definitely.
That's fine.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
So, and honestly, I was expecting that, like, and I've said this many times, you guys always go, and I'm like, dude, like 90% of girls don't even know what that is in America.
They don't care.
So I'll go ahead, you can tell us what it is, and then you can tell us what it is too, or if you agree with the definition.
Walter, aka Fresh, said it the best. He said, they don't care. And that's what this whole thing really boils down to. It's not that they don't know. It's they don't care. Because society has deemed it advantageous for women to be gynocentric. The entire world revolves around women. That's why the equality of women has morphed into the superiority of women, which in and of itself is a lie. It is a bona fide, honest to goodness, oh my Lord, you're tripping lie. They're not stronger than us, for the most part, no. Are there some? Yes, but it's not the rule, it's the exception. So they're not stronger than us, they're not faster than us. On a whole, they're not smarter than us. Again, and I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but we're not talking about the minority as like they're the only things that matter. The exception doesn't make the rule. So, yes, some do it. And if you happen to be one of those, hats off to you. But I'm betting you're not in the majority. Let's get back to it.
Go ahead.
It's the modern day idea that men have that they prefer to date women from other cultures opposed to Western women, American women, because the way that women act and treat their men in other countries is they prefer that over American women nowadays.
Okay. Was that what you were going to say too, or do you have a different definition that you want to bring to the table?
More or less, just men go to other countries because it's cheaper to women in different countries.
That, firstly, was a very masculine thing to say. And secondly, where that might be true for a subset, a minority, that doesn't hold true for the majority. For the most part, guys want to get married because they want to pass on their legacy. They want to have their last name perpetuated throughout time. They want their last name to mean something. And the best way to do that is to marry somebody. That is the traditional way of doing things. And whether you're traditional or you're progressive or whatever have you, whichever side you happen to fall on, the bottom line is that you want to pass on your genes to the next generation. And the best way, not the only way, the best way of doing, excuse me, the best way of doing that is to get married. Let's see what Dummy has to say now.
women in different countries are cheaper to maintain.
Right.
And
That's like when guys go to Tokyo, the most expensive city in the entire world. They're like, hey, fucking peasant.
And then go to like Colombia and places like Medellin, and that's what you see on Passport Bros on Twitter. It's that's what in South America.
See, but it's way bigger.
There you go. MLD said it the best. Shout out to John. That's what you see. And a lot of these people in this space that are on these podcasts that talk about things like this are all doing it from a first-person perspective. According to me, what I see, what I think, I'm feeling, I'm like, I love word salad, word vomit, and it doesn't really hold anything because the questions that are being asked are general nature. Like this question, for example, Myron simply asked, do you know what Passport Bros is? Have you heard of it? And if so, what is it? Now, what is it? She's going upon what she thinks, not what is. I feel like. No one wants to know how you feel because it's not germane to the conversation. It means less than zero because we're not asking how you feel. We're not asking what you think. We're not asking what it's like to you because we don't care what you think. We don't care what you feel, what you're going to say. Anything like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Let's continue.
America? No, but my parents have been to Japan.
Do you have a passport?
Yes, I do. I have two.
And where have you been?
I've been to, well, I just got back from Dubai. I was in Dubai last month.
Wait a minute. That's a whole other. Keep going.
Dubai,
Italy.
the UK,
Okay.
South America, Colombia,
South America's not a country.
Colombia,
Okay.
Mexico, Canada. I need time.
Okay.
Because I have traveled. I have two passports. I am Colombian and...
You've been to 6 countries.
No, I've been to more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think that every guy that goes to these other countries...
I didn't say every guy. You're saying every guy.
Actually, you did.
No, I said...
You took a generalized statement. But you said that...
Just
relax. Alright, you said that...
She's doing it for clout. And she's making me angry. What he's saying simply is that she made a generalized statement. And she did. And she has something to say about it. And it's something negative. I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, real adult. Real mature.
Guys went to other countries because these girls are easier in other countries. And
They're cheaper. I said they're cheaper. I didn't say easier or dumber. Did you guys hear me say easier or dumber? Or did I say cheaper?
Cheaper would insinuate that they're for sale.
No.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It's cheaper to date women in different countries. That means that they're for sale. That's you're saying that they're for sale. It's cheaper to date women in different countries than that it's cheaper to take a woman in a different country out on a date.
Because they are for sale, according to your logic. And she doesn't know this. She's fallen head over heels into the trap. And she has no clue as to how she got there or why she's there. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. These people. Let's listen to a little bit more of this.
Depending on what country you go to, U.S. is one of the most expensive countries in the world.
There you go.
But you were saying?
No, I'll just let the chat digest that.
I feel you.
You have anything else to add to that?
Well, I mean, if you've been to Tokyo, it's not that cheap. Korea, China.
You know it's not that
Germany.
cheap.
Huh?
You know it's not that cheap?
Yes, that's where I live.
Okay.
The most expensive city in the world.
You know how expensive it is
Yes.
out in Tokyo.
Yes.
How fucking stupid can you be? He said he lives in Tokyo. You know what is how expensive it is? No, I just fucking want to hear myself talk. Now here's where the Myron Doctrine should come into effect, but because he's trying to be more thoughtful and more in tune with everything else, he's letting things go. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. You're gone. If you can't let someone talk, if you guys finally wanted to talk over them, I'm gonna make an example of you. You're gone.
To take women out.
Yes.
Okay, comparison to other countries.
Correct.
Because that's how often you do it.
How often you do what?
Do you do what? We're talking about taking women out.
Yeah.
Aren't we? Okay.
No, but he's telling you that Tokyo is the most expensive city to live in the world. In general, the cost of living in general is the most expensive. So,
In general.
because you're saying that people go and get passports to go to places where it's cheaper to date and cheaper to do things, but Tokyo is the most expensive.
Yeah, but we were talking about dating. But I'm not going to be combative, you were saying.
Yeah! So frustrating. So very frustrating. And I don't understand. I mean, she's acting like it's a gotcha thing where she's trying to show him up, which she's doing no such thing. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna cut this short, but this is by no means over. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll be right back.